The Sephora Spring 2023 savings event is here, and I have a lot of recommendations, including some things that I don't actually recommend. So this is it. This is my full intro. I'm just going to pop into the details of the sale, and then I'm going to start with my recommendations. This will include things that I have mentioned in previous videos. This will include things that are newer to my recommendations list. I just want to make this a one-go video. If you want to check out those videos, I will link them below. But if you don't, this will include everything that I absolutely love and recommend. The savings event starts on April 14th and runs through April 24th for Rouge members. They save 20% off. They do have first access. So for 4 days, they're the only ones who are going to be able to shop. VIBs and insiders can start shopping on April 18th all the way through April 24th. VIBs get 15% off. Insiders get 10% off. Even if you're not a member with Sephora, you can literally sign up right then and there and take the 10% off your purchase if you want to. Everybody can save 30% off the Sephora collection starting on April 14th going through April 24th. So regardless of whether you're a VIP or an insider, if all you want or what you want is the Sephora collection product, you can start shopping on April 14th. The code is SAVENOW. You can use it as many times as you want to, so you can shop as many times as you want to. You know, if you buy something on day one of the sale and then realize that some company launched something on the last day, you can still shop. This actually happened to me during the last savings event, and yeah, I took advantage of that sale. Moving on, I just want to give a bit of a disclaimer, and it's an important one. This is not the best sale around. This really isn't. There are a lot of companies that are doing family and friend sales right now. Like as of the day of this filming, I know at least one company that has 20% off regardless of how much you spend or whether you're a member or not. So if you're not Rouge, I don't really think it's the best idea to shop at Sephora if you can get the products that you're looking for somewhere else. So before you shop at Sephora, pop into one of the other websites or like the brand website or whatever you're shopping for and see if they have something comparable. And now let's get into the recommendations because I have not a lot of time to film, but a lot of products to get through. I'm going to start with face products. So the first item I actually want to recommend is the Makeup by Mario SurrealSkin foundation. I know not everybody loves this foundation. I am fully aware of it. It does have shimmer particles in it. For some people, it looks like glitter, but to me, it looks like shimmer particles. I have it in the shade 2N, by the way. It is quickly becoming too light for me. But what I do like about this foundation is that when I'm having a drier skin day, which happens because I am using tretinoin, I was engaged in winter sport activities like skiing and what else did I do? Other stuff, whatever. I don't remember right now, but because I was putting myself into a situation where my skin was a little bit drier, this was really great. Now, do I think that this is going to be the foundation that I turn to in the summer? No, because I'm going to be producing a lot of oil and sweat probably, but definitely a lot more oil than I am right now. But for the period that I was using this, this was amazing. I mean, I used it so much that gap is the foundation. I mean, you can actually look in and it's still a little bit lower. So I really like this foundation. I do recommend it if you have slightly drier skin and you want that light glow. This doesn't have the kind of glimmer or shimmer or glitter that a lot of people seem to be having issues with. I'm not sure how they're finding that. I've not had that issue. This is beautiful on the skin, in my opinion. Next up is a tried and true. It is the Estée Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. This foundation is incredible. This is not my first bottle of it. This is, I think, third or fourth bottle. And I have a lot of foundations, and I try foundations all the time. I love this foundation a lot, to the point where I bought this only like a couple months ago, and it is like right under that Estée Lauder logo. I love this. This is one of those foundations that does not dry out your skin, but stays on. It is full coverage, but not as full coverage as some products that we've seen over the years, but it is definitely more full coverage. It's not something that's like a tint. You can, of course, sheer it out, and this will last you forever if that's how you like to use it, but I love this foundation. At a time when we were wearing masks all the time, so we, there was something rubbing, like there was constant friction on the foundations. Every time I wore this, it just looked beautiful, and it stayed put. My foundation stayed put, my makeup stayed put anytime I had to go somewhere. So I highly recommend this one. This is the tried and true. This is something that's been around for years, and there's a reason for it, and I'm just gonna keep buying it every time I go through it. I love this foundation. The next foundation is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. This is in my summer shade, so this is in 4 neutral. I think I've already used up 3 neutral, I think that was. So this is like the depths of summer shade for me, like when I'm super tanned, fake tan of course, but super tan, and you know, I'm still getting some exposure from actual sun as well. Sunscreen, but still some exposure. Love this shade, love this foundation for that. 3 neutral was for the days where I'm not that tanned, but still want foundation obviously, but still have a tan. And I think I tried a sample of, but didn't purchase for, I think because it was sold out, the 2N. So I am neutral, so that's why, but I love this foundation. I think it looks beautiful on the skin. It really does. It leaves the skin looking like you're not actually wearing foundation, which is the whole point. I wouldn't say that this has the longest wear time, like the way, let's say, the double wear does, but this is a foundation that will make your skin look juicy. Yeah, that's probably the right term for it. Juicy is how you're gonna look. I want to recommend 2 concealers. The first one is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer. This is a really nice thin concealer that works beautifully under the eyes, doesn't settle too much in those fine lines, but you know, I am human, I am dynamic. I mean, look at how much I'm moving my face and my features right now, so this will settle into some fine lines, maybe not as badly as others, but this will settle in a tiny bit, but that's okay. I will take that for how light and thin this actually is. I think this concealer is beautiful. I have it in the shade Royal Icing 1.1N. And that's actually what I like about it. It comes in neutral undertones, which is kind of rare for concealers, certainly. The other concealer I want to recommend, which does not come in neutral undertones as far as I know, but I do still want to recommend because there's a huge price difference between the two, is the Sephora Best Skin Ever Concealer. Now this one I have it in the shade 03P, so I think the P stands for pink. Now there's a huge price difference between these two. I think this one is $15 and the Faux Filter by Huda Beauty is $30 or $31. So it's quite a huge difference, especially because even if you're rouge, you can only get 20% off on the Huda Beauty, but regardless of your tier or your status, you can get 30% off on the Best Skin Ever. They're both light, they're both thin, they both do great under the eyes. The difference comes in the shades and the undertones. Let me show you what I mean. So the top one is the Best Skin Ever Concealer by Sephora, and you can tell that it is super light, but also it's got that tiny pinkish undertone. The bottom one is the Faux Filter one by Huda Beauty, and it is more neutral, it has more beige in it. It's not quite so paper white, and I find that depending on what I need under my eyes, I do refer to both of them or use both of them at different times. Let's pop into the powders. I have 3 to recommend. 2 of them are new to my favorites, so if you hear the pup and if you see her right there, it's because somebody was outside walking by, closed the door nearby, and she's protecting me. And it's so adorable. I love her so much. So she's gonna try to get up there. Oh, you're so cute. She's very cute. I know. How dare they? The next items I want to talk about are powders. I have 3 that I want to talk about, but 2 of them are completely new to my recommendations list. The first ones are the NARS Soft Matte Advanced Reflecting Powders. I have 2 shades of this, and I already reviewed this in a dedicated video, so I'm gonna just link that below so I don't have to go too much into it, and that way you can just look at that, or refer to it as you please. The first one that I have is the shade Cliff. This is super light and bright. It is actually what I'm wearing under my eyes today because I wanted that brighter under eye, and I love this powder. It's beautiful. It's definitely perfecting it. Softens the look of pores, which is very important to me because I have pretty large pores and pretty visible pores. I also have it in the shade Creek, and it is a bit more yellow toned because it is still cold out. I haven't really been needing this as much, but I will be using this a lot more when I fake tan. So between these 2, I'm covered year round essentially, and I love them. As I said, these are 9 grams of powder for, I think it's $35, which is pretty decent for how little I need to use it. The other powder that I really love, and I think I love this even more than the ones that I just showed you, and I would recommend this more, is the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder in the shade Light. It is basically white powder. This does come in 4 shades, I believe, so you can probably find something that suits your skin tone a little bit better. I love this powder though. If I had to choose between this one, and I think this is $32 for 4.5 grams of product, it's completely rubbed off, so 4 grams. 4 grams of product, so less than half of one of these. So if I had to choose between these two though, I would actually choose the Pat McGrath over the other one because it's just better. It's just more blurring, it's more beautiful. I wish it had the same brightening quality that the Cliff shade of this does for me, but it doesn't matter. If I had to choose one, I would be choosing the Pat McGrath. Now, this is going to be the only Pat McGrath product I talk about in this video, not because I don't like Pat McGrath products, I really do, but because she does better sales herself regardless of tier. I think 2 weeks ago she had a sale where you could save 25% on all orders under $125. And if you spend $125 or more, you could save 30%. So Pat McGrath does better sales herself, and the only one I want to recommend right now is this. The last powder I want to recommend is this one by Rare Beauty. I really like this powder. I am wearing it on the perimeter of my face. It does give a very soft finish to the face. It doesn't dry things down too much, like you're not dry, but I do like this powder quite a lot and I do recommend it. I think it's $25 or something like that. This is under $30 and you get quite a lot of product. You get 10 grams of product. So wow, that's interesting. So in pressed form, this is 9 grams of product, and in loose form, this whole thing is 10 grams. So you get only 1 more gram. It's pretty good though. That is a good price. So I highly recommend this, and I think she has these in multiple shades as well. Let's move on to bronzers. I'm going to start with the cream ones. The first one I want to recommend is this NARS Laguna Cream Bronzer. I have it in the shade Laguna 01, or 01 Laguna 01. And this is the lightest shade they have. It is a little bit more cool tone because I am very fair and I need a little bit more of a cool tone bronzer. You know, historically, bronzers have been very difficult for me to use, but more brands are, you know, doing a better job at serving the extremes of the range, so the lightest and the fairest as well as the deepest skin tones, which is great because when I was doing when I started in the beauty world, which was almost 10 years ago, you didn't get that. And I didn't have bronzers that I could easily use, certainly not the Laguna ones. So I'm really excited that those are available now. This smells great, smells fine. I bought this I think last year and I've used quite a chunk of it, but you know, I still have a ton of product. This comes with 19 grams of product. This is one of those products that if I run out of it, and I will eventually run out of it because I'm using it pretty regularly, I will buy immediately. Hopefully I can aim for a sale, but if one doesn't exist, I will find one. Actually, I will just find one and buy it then. But really love this bronzer. This is gonna be a really long video and I'm sorry about that, but this is gonna be like the most comprehensive video I can make. The next bronzer I'm gonna talk about is actually more of a dilemma for me to talk about because while I love the product, I don't really recommend it. Let me tell you why. So the one I'm talking about is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. I have it in the shade Light Medium and I love it. I absolutely do. It's beautiful. Look at that. Look how much I've used. The problem is I've done this damage in like the last 7 weeks, I would say. Yeah. This was basically unused. I think I tried it 1 or 2 times before that. I bought it in June, I think, when it released, but I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it and I put it down. And then one day I was looking at it. I'm like, let me try it. Let me give it a go again. And I loved it. I really do. Until I hit pan on like week 5. Why am I hitting pan on a bronzer on week 5? And then I looked at the back and I saw that it's 5 grams of product. 5 grams of product is not enough for me, based on how I use bronzer. So while I love this product, and while I think I will at some point repurchase this product, it is not a lot of product in the pan. So either they should lower the price, because I think it's at $30 right now, or increase the quantity that you get, because as lovely as it is hard for me to recommend a $30 product that you can use up in like 7 weeks. Well, it's not fully used up. I would give this another 2 weeks, 3 weeks before it's fully done. I'm actually having trouble getting the product. I'm going to like scoop everything to the center so I can use the product, because at this price I don't want anything to go to waste. The next cream bronzers I want to recommend are these Merit ones. I love these Merit stick bronzers. What are they called? Bronze bombs. So they're really beautiful. They're very thin, and what I like is that they come in stick form. I mean, look at that. It's just so easy to use, and you basically can't overdo these. I do have an individual video for this too, a dedicated video. These were sent to me for a review, but I love them. I love them enough that not only am I recommending them, and I think I recommended them in my last Sephora recommendations video, but also I use them constantly, especially when I travel. I have them in 2 shades. I have them in the shades Clay, which is I think the lightest shade, and the shade Quince. No, Quince is the lightest shade, Clay is the deeper one. So this is Quince and this is Clay. So I've been using Quince when I travel, and you get a ton of product with this. It doesn't look like it contains a lot of product, but it actually has more than the Mario one. This has 12.5 grams of product. Now, this is, because I think this is the lighter shade, I used this. This was more domed. And I love it. This is one of those products that you can't pile on too much, but you look at how much product you actually get, and this is easy to travel with. Super easy to travel with. It basically weighs nothing because the component is really light. It's easy to apply because you just literally rub it on your face, and then you can blend it out with your fingers. So I love these. I really recommend that you try these. I just have nothing bad to say about these. They're great. They're great. And the last cream bronzer I want to talk about is the Charlotte Tilbury one. This is the Beautiful Skin bronzer. I have it in the shade 2 medium. And you would think that this would be too deep for me, but it is not. It is actually something that I'm wearing on the perimeter of my face to deepen up the bronzer a little bit more. I really think this is beautiful. It blends out. It will last you forever because this is 21 grams of product. Yes, it is more expensive. I think it's $56 for the bronzer. However, it's got, as I said, 21 grams of product, so you'll use it for a very, very long time. It does have a beautiful component, but beyond that, it has a gigantic mirror. I'm not going to show you because I don't want to flash you, but look how big that mirror is. More importantly, though, if you're not rouge, I think that you should be checking out, not the Charlotte Tilbury website, because she doesn't have any sales worth mentioning really, but what you should be checking out is ASOS. ASOS also carries Charlotte Tilbury, and sometimes they carry her newest products and the older ones as well. Once they sell out of the newer products though, they tend to not restock, but you should try it out because you can probably get 20% off on that site. Yeah. And I only have one powder bronzer I want to talk about, mainly because the Pat McGrath one that I just received, I just have not had time to try, and I'm not going to recommend that. And the powder bronzer I want to talk about is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush one. I also have this in the shade 2 medium. I bought this during the summer, which was fine because I was definitely more tan, but it is something that I can actually use even when I'm lighter. I just use a lighter hand with it. So it's going to make it last even longer. This is also, I think, $56, and I can't see it on the ASOS website right now, mainly because I'm just going through it very quickly, but it is certainly going to be, no, I see it, it's right there. So it's available on ASOS as well. Just check out that sale. You know, it's a permanent product. You do not have to rush with a permanent product. I just want to remind you that permanent products are permanent and they're going to stick around. This has been around forever. Let's move on to blushes. All of these are permanent as far as I know. I'm going to start with the cream ones and move on to the powder ones. Just like everyone else, I want to recommend the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch blushes. I love these. They're great. They're really affordable. I think they're under $25. These are going to last you basically your entire life or until they go bad, because you will never be able to use this up. They're very pigmented. They have a lot of shades. So I highly recommend that you pick this up if you want a cream or liquid blush. I know everybody's been talking about it for years. There's a reason for it, and I'm going to stop talking about it right now. And the next one I'm going to talk about went viral last year, and for a very good reason. It is the Glowgasm Beauty Light one from Charlotte Tilbury. I have it in the shade Pink Gasm. It is absolutely beautiful. Definitely worth the money. It's one of those blushes that looks just gorgeous, glowy, but blushy, and it will last you forever because you don't actually need as much product as you think you do. It is expensive for sure if you're going to get Charlotte Tilbury products. Again, ASOS or Sephora during the sale. the Charlotte Tilbury website, you're really not going to get much out of it, but highly recommend that you look into this if you don't already have it. And because you're probably expecting that I'm going to recommend this, I'm going to put this here mainly because I just don't think it's worth the money. And it is the Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wands from Charlotte Tilbury. I have it in the shade Pillow Talk. This one is not actually available on any site other than the Charlotte Tilbury website itself. However, I've tried all the other ones as well. This one is decent. This is the one I kept. I either gave away the last ones or returned them. The other ones, I just didn't like them. I didn't think that they were worth it. They're very expensive. I think they're $40 or $42. They're very expensive for what you get, and you would have to be basically going through it. The shades, the peach one and the pink pop or whatever, the peach and pink ones are basically the same on the face. I did do a YouTube short with that. I did film a video, I just never published it. So let me know if you actually want me to film that video. It was just like when I did not have good lighting and so on and so forth, but my opinions are still there. So I don't actually recommend this one. I'm just going to tell you now because I do recommend the other one. Instead of waiting till the end of this video, which I'll probably just mention it again anyway, but I don't think this one's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. And the last cream blush I want to recommend actually, bridges the gap between the cream and the powder, and it is the Patrick Ta Blush Duos. I have it in the shade She's Blushing. I absolutely love this product and this shade. Let me take that, move that little window off the cream one. I love that it has that, but this is it's just beautiful. It's a stunning blush duo, and what I love about this is that it is ideal for traveling. So if you're either traveling and you don't know whether to take a cream blush or a powder, there you go. Take this one. It's perfect. I love this shade. They have other shades as well. I think this one's a particular stunner for people of my skin tone. I love this one. I love this one. I can't recommend it enough. And I will keep recommending it because it is that beautiful, and I just keep looking at it because it's stunning. It's stunning. It's a beauty in my opinion. Let me see if I can swatch that for you. These are complementary shades. They're not necessarily identical. Oh, I have something there. Ooh, okay, let me see if I can swatch it on top right there. So see how pretty that is? They're really, really pretty. I love this one. The first powder blush, other than the one that I just talked about that I want to recommend, is one that will last you forever. It is the Pillow Talk Cheek to Chic blush in the shade Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury. I have been using this blush a lot recently and I really love it. It is a blush I will never use up. So it is a product that will last me forever. It is something that if you can get on sale, I think you should. I highly recommend this one. I have no bad things to talk about or to mention about this. I think it's an absolute stunner. I also want to recommend the Bare Minerals Gen Nude Bronzers. I have two of them. I have Kiss of Copper, which is this one right here. This is a stunning blush for the summer. Definitely will give you more of that like sunburnt look, and I freaking love that. I love it. Look how beautiful. No, you can't see it. Look how beautiful that is. It's absolutely stunning. And I also have it in the shade Kiss of Pink, and it won't open. There we go. I opened it. I think Kiss of Pink is the hardest one of them to get. I don't know why, but if you can find it, I recommend it because as you can see, it gives just enough color to actually like look nice on the skin. And that was like quite a lot, but it's just lovely. And last I checked, they were $25. I know prices on makeup products have been increasing recently. So even if it is $26 or $30, I think this is one of those blushes that you will absolutely love. It does have 3.8 grams of product, but this will last you a very, very long time nonetheless, because you don't need that much to get a really nice effect. The last product in the blush category that I want to talk about is absolutely one of my favorites, and I discovered it only in the fall sale, and I'm so glad I did. And it is the Sephora Collection Colorful Blushes. I think I have it in the shade Heated. I don't think they have this one anymore, but still, if you can find any of their blushes, they're amazing. I have another one in my cart right now, and if you saw my video with my wish list, it's there. I think it's a shade Copper or Heat. I don't remember. It's orange. It's orange blush. It's gonna be beautiful. This is what the blush looks like. It does have a mirror. Of all things, it has a mirror. So I really love this. It's a great formula. Am I wearing this today? Yeah, I'm wearing this one today. I'm wearing this one today. It's beautiful. It's pigmented enough, but not too pigmented. They have a ton of shades, and my favorite is, I think it's $14. So 30% off that everybody can take off Sephora collection would land it either at like $10 or just under. Highly recommend this one. Really quick interruption here. I know it's a very long video. I wanted to make it a one-stop shop so you didn't have to keep looking at other videos of mine for review, for my opinions on these things. I have a lot of product that I wanted to go through, a lot to cover, and I decided that I was going to actually go into my opinions on them and my descriptions just so you can get a one-stop shop for the whole thing. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you like videos like this, please comment, please like, and please subscribe if you want to see more like this. Getting back into the video now. Let's move on to eyeshadows, and the first one I recommend is actually a quad. It is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Luxury Palette in the shade Pillow Talk, and look how lovely that color story is. This is one of those foolproof color stories if you have my skin tone or similar, and I think that nobody's talking about this anymore, and they really should be, because maybe it's because I'm so late to the game. I only really bought this last year in June, and my first day of using it was the day of my birthday or the day after my birthday or something. It was in early June, and I love it. I pack this into everything. This is one of those, as I said, foolproof color stories, so no matter what look you want to create, you can. I am wearing it today. I'm wearing it over something else, but like a cream product that I don't really need to recommend because it is more expensive than it's worth, but this is worth it. This is worth every single penny. I know it's in like the $50 range, but it is worth it because I've used the living daylights out of it in the last year. It's less than a year, and look at the gigantic pan on it. Now, this is not the first pan I've gotten on this shade, because this is the third one. I keep pressing it down when it's already hard to use. So this is like a really thin layer of product at this point. I'm going to be really upset when this runs out. What's funny is that was a shade that I thought I was not going to love, and it's my favorite shade to use. But all of the other ones are also really beautiful. So anytime I want to create a very last minute look, I don't have time, I only have like 10 minutes, or I need to be professional looking, or I'm meeting somebody important, this is it. Like if you work in a professional environment that is very conservative, this is going to be perfect for you. Even if you live in an environment that is generally conservative, or you're conservative with your makeup, this one is it. Love this one. Another palette that I was actually really late to the game with is this Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes palette. And this is kind of similar to the Charlotte Tilbury one that I just showed you, but it's much bigger. It's definitely thin, so at least there's that for it. And it gives you a lot more range. So this is a stunner of an eyeshadow palette. I am very sad that I didn't get this before. However, as much as I love this, I'm still not using it every day. I do prefer the other Charlotte Tilbury one. Still a gorgeous, incredible palette. Recommend this one a lot. And look at that profile for packing. And the last eyeshadow palette I want to recommend is this Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. I absolutely love this one. I am wearing it on my bottom lash line today, as well as my inner corner. I did a video yesterday. I recorded a video, I think it was my March favorites, and I was wearing this palette in like an all green, mint green look. Loved it. Loved it so much. But look at this beautiful color story. It's absolutely stunning. The formulas are great. Regardless of which Natasha Denona palette you get, the formulations are going to be like phenomenal. But I really want to point out this color story. Look how beautiful that looks. I mean, that video that I was just talking about that I recorded yesterday, I was wearing like an all mint look, and I couldn't stop staring at myself. I literally, if you watch that video and I'm staring at myself the entire time, that's why. It's freaking stunning. It's gorgeous. I highly recommend this one, especially for spring, especially for like the summer months. If you like that really light, colorful look, the pastels, beautiful. I really recommend that one. I only want to recommend one mascara right now. It is the Tarte Le Tubing Mascara. I really like this. It's a really good tubing mascara. It makes my lashes look really beautiful. So I don't know what else to talk about it. It's just beautiful. It doesn't come off unless you take it off with warm water, and it's lovely. I want to move on to eyeliners. The first eyeliner I want to talk about, I am wearing on my waterline today, and it is one of the best cream eyeliners I find. I find that it lasts forever. It is the Too Faced Killer Liner in the shade Killer Cashmere. Really love this. I mean, do I really need to point this, you know, do I really need to swatch this? It's literally, you can't even see it. It's a cream eyeliner. I just used up more of it than I will need to for a very long time, but it's a really lovely one. And this is one of those few liners that lasts in the waterline for like a really, really long time. I think it lasted in my waterline for like the entire day yesterday, and then I removed my makeup and there was still a little bit remaining. Lovely. The other eyeliners I want to recommend are these Sephora ones. These are the Sephora 12-hour colorful eyeliners. These are the ones that are the most similar, as far as I know, to the Marc Jacobs highliners. I have it. It's just a regular pencil liner though. I have it in 2 shades. I have it in the shade Stone, which is a really lovely charcoal shade. So if you don't want brown eyeliner because you're just too cool toned and you're just not digging that look, and if you don't want black eyeliner because that's just way too deep and too harsh, that is a really lovely shade. And Marc Jacobs had a shade called Irony, and of course I discovered it just before they discontinued the entire line, so I was pretty upset about that, but that is a really beautiful one. It does last for a really long time in the under eye area, in the waterline area. And the second shade is this beautiful navy blue one that I have, and this is in the shade Endless Night. I am going to pick up another shade. I think it's a shade Coconut, which will be similar to this one from Too Faced. I want to try and test that out. Let me see if I can now do the rub test. Yeah, it's really not rubbing off, maybe a little bit, but you know, I'm not going really hard with it, but you know, you're also not going to be doing that with your eyes. So really, really recommend that, especially since Sephora collection is going to be 30% off, and that's, I think, $13 or $11. No, $11. I think those are $11. I just looked over at my lip product section and there's a lot, so I'm going to go through it very quickly. I'm not going to go into any details because at this point this video is going to be more than an hour long. The first one I want to recommend is this K-Skin Isle Lip Balm SPF 30. It's beautiful, it's emollient, it's clear but emollient, love that. The next ones I want to recommend are these Summer Fridays ones. I love these. I also have these tiny ones that came in a holiday set. Let me show you this other one. I have like a lot. I have like a lot of them, okay? To a point where I originally was going to buy another one of the vanilla shade, which is this clear shade that I leave on my bedside table to just have it. And then I realized I have so many that I don't need a bunch of clear ones. This can be in my bedside table, and these can be in like my purse or, you know, where I'm working. So there's no need for me to have 50,000 of them. I love the vanilla one. I put it on before I go to sleep. It's a great lip treatment, absolutely lovely. I also really love this vanilla beige shade. This is a really beautiful, stunning shade. I'm not wearing this one today, but I usually line my lips and just wear this, and it's really nice and glossy. The one I am wearing today is this brown sugar shade. Let me see if I can put it on, although at this point I've been talking so much that it's probably looking more like the other one. Let me see. It's really beautiful. At first I thought that this would be too deep on me, but it is not. It's lovely, and it stays really glossy. I wear it over a lip liner. I'm going to show you in just a second. And the last one is this shade Poppy, and I do want another one of these, just not the shade Poppy or the clear one as I was talking. I'm actually going to get, there's a new pink one that came out. This is what Poppy looks like. I just don't have anywhere else to swatch it. You know, clear, and the other ones are thick. These two look very much the same, but this one is a very distinct shade that I just wanted to show you. The lip liner I use with those, and I am wearing today, is this Makeup Forever in Wherever Walnut. Yeah, Wherever Walnut. Everybody loves this one. Everybody knows this one at this point. It's that little stunner. I absolutely love it. I don't have anything to say about it that I haven't said or anybody else hasn't said yet. Lovely, stunning, really suitable for anybody. I also want to recommend the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Lip Luster Lip Gloss. I love this thing. I use this instead of the lipstick. I actually had the lipstick. I had it forever. It was just too deep for me. Maybe it worked during the summer a little bit, but I gave it to my sister because I'd barely used it, and I think it works better on her. If I want that lipstick, I actually have like a mini version of it somewhere in my collection. It's super tiny. Don't really need more than that. I think it has like 1 gram of product. However, this is the shade that I wish that lipstick was. So if you have my coloring and you find that the Pillow Talk original shade just does not work on you, but you like the way it looks on other people, this is the one to look out for. Let me see if I can swatch it here, because I think it's an absolutely beautiful color. And it applies like a lipstick. It's a lip gloss, but it is more of a lipstick coverage in formulation. So I really like this one. Nobody talks about this one because everybody's obsessed with a lipstick. Talking about lip glosses, I want to talk about the Tower 28 Shine On Lip Jelly in Pistachio. This is an absolutely stunning shade, and I love it with other lip liners, like this lip liner from Makeup Forever, and I'm going to show you like another lip liner right now that I use it with. Love, love, love this. This particular shade is my favorite. It is more of a pinky shade, and I think it is absolutely stunning. I'm going to try to swatch as many of these as I can, but I am on an incredible time limit. But it is the second one with a wider swatch. Look how beautiful that actually looks. Can you like this? Okay, there we go. Look how beautiful that looks. So I love that one. I actually already have a backup of it. It is it's $16 now. It used to be $15, but it's $16 now. So even without the sale, it's a pretty affordable lip gloss. The lip liner I like to use it with is actually this Rare Beauty one. I like the formulation of these lip liners, and I think they're really affordable too. These are the Kind Words matte lip liners. This is in the shade Talented. I really like this shade because it's a perfect beigey nude for someone of my skin tone, and I really love it. I'm not wearing this today because I'm wearing Wherever Walnut, but I do wear those interchangeably almost. I also want to recommend these lip liners from Sephora. They are called, I have to read this because it's like a little bit too long. They're the Contour, oh, maybe not that long. They're the Contour Rouge Gel Lip Liners. I have them in the shades Creme de la Creme, which is this more warm toned one. It's a little bit more, I would say, it's got some coral hues to it, but it's more like a brownie coral. As you can see, it's actually more brown in this image right now. And then the other one that I have is one of those like 90s lip looks. I didn't love it at the time. I'm kind of digging it right now, mainly because I actually lined the bottom of my lips with it to make it look like a little bit fuller. This is Dressed to the 90s, and it is a very, very cool toned taupe shade. Let me like swatch that for you. It's a little bit it looks a little bit more cool toned taupey on my lips, but it's the second one. It's this one right here. These are both stunning. They are great lip liners. I think they're also like $11 or $12 or $13. They're under $15, and with 30% off, that's a good savings right there. The last makeup item I want to talk about is my favorite setting spray. It is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I love this stuff. This is my third bottle of this, I think. I have one more in a backup. I love this stuff. This is definitely one of those hairspray for the face kind of setting sprays. Like nothing will move. When we were wearing masks all the time and I had to get into like an Uber or a Lyft, what I would do is I would do my whole makeup and I would spray the living daylights out of my makeup, or with this, not that much, but still, and I would put a mask over it, obviously gently, and then when I removed it, nothing would have budged. So this combined with the Estée Lauder foundation that I was talking about earlier, amazing combo. But this would work over any foundation, even drugstore ones that are like super duper cheap. So really love this stuff. This is particularly amazing for the summer. So I'm going to actually I have started using it mainly because it started getting a little bit hotter out, but this is amazing for the summer, especially if you live in New York and you have to take the subway anywhere. You don't want you're running to the subway, you start sweating everywhere, suddenly your foundation is running, it's mixing into things, it looks like you've been crying. You don't need to worry about that with this one. This will literally set your makeup like crazy, and I love this stuff and I recommend that you buy this. So let's get into skincare. I don't have a lot to talk about, not because I don't use a lot of stuff, but I do, but I am working on using tretinoin right now. So that's just taking up most of my time and energy, the first thing I want to recommend, I basically recommend it in every single video, and it is this Laneige Cream Skin Toner and Moisturizer. You'd think after talking about it for like a year plus, I would remember the full name, but I love this product. Now, this product is, I prefer to buy it in this bottle like this because it is 150 milliliters or like 5 ounces, but I don't love the delivery system, which is like, but I don't want to waste any of it, which is by like just dumping a little bit on your hand. It is a very thin moisturizer, and they do actually sell this in a mist form, and I do have the mist form, and it does mist. This I can use on my face to show you. Oh, that feels great. To show you how light that is. So what I do is I bought this one, and then you can just unscrew this, pop this off really easily, and then decant this bigger bottle into the smaller bottle. The reason I do that is because, as I said, this is 150 milliliters, and I think it was $33 when I last checked it. I should probably check right now because this is my last bottle, I think. Ooh, this might be my last bottle. So I have to check if I have any more in my storage, but I might not, so I might have to get it. So as I said, this is 150 milliliters or 5 ounces, but the sprayer is 75 milliliters or 2.5 ounces. So one of these can fill 2 of these. So if this was $33, this was like $25. So as you can tell, it makes more financial sense to just buy the big one and then just keep decanting it. That's what I like doing. I will keep doing that. I love this. This is my 7th bottle, I think, 8th bottle. I don't remember how many it is. It is a lot, but I use it as my first level moisturizer or like the first layer morning and night. If I'm really quickly running out in the summer, this will be enough for me. On the days where I'm particularly oily, especially if I'm not going out anywhere. I love this stuff. I love this. I just refreshed my makeup with it. I'm going to do it some more because I really love it. Oh my God, that feels amazing. So this one, if you buy nothing else that I recommend, this is what you should get. The next item I actually discovered during the last Sephora savings event, and it was during the holiday season, and it is the Skin Fix Barrier Plus triple lipid peptide cream. I love this product. It has this kind of delivery system. I love this so much that I've actually gone through 2 refills of this, and I already have 1 more refill. That's what I like about it. It comes with a refill, and let me show you what the refill looks like. And it's easy to refill. It actually comes with instructions on top of it too. But this is what the refill looks like, and you just pop it in. I love this. It has no scent, and as far as I can tell, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. I do want to mention this as a reminder because a lot of people are talking about skincare products that just recently released, but nobody mentions how Good Genes by Sunday Riley still is. This is still one of my favorite lactic acid, I think it is, lactic acid treatments. And as a delivery system, I find that it is gentle. It just does not feel too harsh for me, and I really want to recommend it. I do have most of it still, and I have like, they now came out with like these gigantic bottles. I think you can only purchase those on their website directly though, but they're like double the size of this for like $200. This is not $200, but the value is there. But if you have to get this, I highly recommend that you try it during the sale because it will change your life. I'm almost done with skincare. The next thing I want to talk about is this Innisfree Daily UV Defense Sunscreen. This is my 2nd tube of this, and now I discovered that they come with like a double size of this, so I'm going to be purchasing that. The formulation on this is stunning. It's just so smooth. I don't know how to. It's a Korean sunscreen. That's probably what it is. It's amazing. And just so you know, it's got broad spectrum SPF 36. That's it for skincare. Not because I haven't tried anything else in the last 6 months or so, but because whatever I've tried, I can get at either the drugstore level or at Target or something like that. It's not something I can get at Sephora. Let's talk about self tanner. I just bought during the 21 days of beauty sale. Sephora actually matches that, so I bought this on Sephora. I bought a backup of my Saint Tropez Self Tan Purity Bronzing Face Water Mist. This is completely new. I love this stuff. This is what I'm using right now. It's like at the halfway point, so I have two. This will last me for a while. I think it'll last me until the next sale, so I don't need to purchase another one of these. But I love this. It just gives you a very light golden hue. It's even. It does not look unnatural, which is very important to me. The second fake tanning product I want to talk about is also Saint Tropez. I love this brand, and it is specifically their Express Self Tanning Mousse. I love this one mainly because it gives me a very natural look, to the point where I actually got my sisters to start buying these as well. It gives a very natural look, but it does it in like 1, 2, or 3 hours. Like, you don't have to go to sleep with this. What I do is I will literally apply this all over the body. I will wait either 1 hour to 3 hours, depending on how deep I want my tan to be. I find that 3 hours is a little bit too deep for me, so the magic period is either 1.5 to 2 hours for me in like the winter time, although I'm not tanning right now. And then in the summer, I'll go between 2 and 2.5 hours. You can wear it past that point, but it really doesn't do anything. And the best part of this is that when you can wash it off. I'm sorry, you can rinse it off. Do not use soap of any sort. No detergent of any soap, right? Like do not use anything that suds. Just rinse it off and it will keep developing. And yes, you will get that little bit of that scent, but do not leave it on for longer just because you think that you haven't gotten a tan. You are going to be getting tanner. This develops over time. Let's get into fragrances. I just want to tell you right now, my favorites are white florals. So I need you to know that, because a lot of what I'm going to be recommending will have that. So my favorites are tuberose, orange blossom, gardenia, jasmine. You get the point, right? You get the point. So the first one I want to talk about is new to my collection, but I tried this before when it launched. I did get a sample of it, and it actually reminds me of something that Jouer used to have, and I spent years trying to find a fragrance like that, and they finally came out with it by Way. Way came out with this fragrance back in September, I think. It is Rue Saint Honoré, and it is an absolute stunner of a fragrance. That smells incredible. This is definitely a gardenia forward scent. So if you don't like gardenia, this is not the scent for you, but that's why I told you what this has. Now, just so you know, this is $64. I'm looking it up right now. It's $64, which is interesting because when it launched, it was $60. So I should have purchased it at the time, but I didn't. And let me tell you what the notes are on this. According to Sephora, the scent type is fresh florals. For me, a fresh floral is something that is floral, but also has like a citrusy scent, but that's just me maybe. But it does have violet, gardenia, and musk. According to the fragrance description, it has top notes of violet, middle notes of gardenia and ylang ylang, and then base notes of white musk that transport you to the front row of Paris Fashion Week. I don't know about that, but this is stunning. This is a stunner for me. The next fragrance I want to talk about is an absolute stunner. This has been my favorite one since, I would say, September. I've talked about it a lot. It's one of those few florals, that was hard to say. It's one of those few floral fragrances, that was even harder, that you can wear year round. And it is the Giorgio Armani My Way fragrance, My Way Eau de Parfum. This is described on Sephora as a classic floral. It has key notes of orange blossom, tuberose, and vanilla. I think there's a little bit of fig in there as well. I love this fragrance so much that up until yesterday, when I demonstrated something in a video, this was at the third of the way full point. So I love this. I also have it in the travel size, and this is also at the third of the way point. And what I demonstrated yesterday is a refill, because I have a refill bottle of it too. I mean, I just got this one on Ulta. They were having a sale. I don't think they're having a sale anymore, but I want to show you what that looks like. This is what a refill bottle looks like, and I love that this is something that's even available. This refill bottle contains 150 milliliters of product, so 5 ounces, and would refill 3 of 350-ounce bottles, but will refill this bottle of mine 5 times. Can I say I love something more than showing you 3 different versions or sizes of it. One thing I do want to mention about that though is that while 20% off is great, there are times when Armani Beauty itself does a better savings. I think I bought this bottle in a set, like a coffret with the travel size at 30% off in September. So if you don't want a new fragrance or need a new fragrance right now, I mean, nobody needs a new fragrance, but if you don't want to buy a fragrance right now, watch out for it during the holiday times. The sales are amazing. The next fragrance I want to recommend, I actually only have a travel size of, but I'm considering buying it in full size or buying a separate one, different one that I mentioned in my video, in my wishlist video that is similar. And this is the Mediterranean Honeysuckle fragrance by Erin. I love buying fragrances in travel sizes because A, I can travel with them more easily, and then I can just literally try it out. There's enough product in here. Let me see, I still have the box for it because I like to keep the boxes. I mean, this box is gorgeous, but it also allows me to easily see what it is when it's in my collection. So this is 7 milliliters of product, and I think it's like $35. I highly recommend that if you like honeysuckle, if you like white florals, you try this one out. It's absolutely stunning. This is very much a floral summertime fragrance. The fragrance family, according to Sephora, is florals. The scent type is fruity florals, and the keynotes are Italian bergamot, honeysuckle, and grapefruit. It is absolutely beautiful, and I see now that it actually has gardenia as well. I love this. This is an incredible fragrance. If you can try it, I highly recommend that you buy it in a travel size though. It's expensive otherwise. Another fragrance I've been loving for years, and I think I've been loving this fragrance for more than 10 years at this point, is this Florence by Tocca. I think this is a beauty. This is a new bottle for me because I've used up the other ones. This is very heavy. I forgot how beautiful the bottle is and how heavy it is because I tend to like wearing this in the spring and summer. This, according to Sephora, is a classic floral. It's got keynotes of bergamot, pear, and gardenia. And the fragrance description is a classic floral fragrance that captures your effortless charm. Yeah, I would say that it's one of those fragrances that I would associate with someone who has that effortless charm. Inspired by the style and sophistication of the city of Paris, Florence is a chic blend of bright bergamot, lush pear, and delicate gardenia. It is a timeless indulgence you'll fall in love with again and again. I mean, every time I open this and I spray it on myself, I love this. This is the me fragrance. Anytime I smell it, it's definitely something where I'm like, this is me. This is absolutely me. And I love this so much that I hope they never stop making it because I will keep buying it for as long as I'm alive. I love this one and I highly recommend that you get it. It is not cheap, but it is more affordable than the other ones that I've been talking about. It is an $80 fragrance for 1.7 ounces. And the last fragrance I want to recommend is actually also a travel size one, and it is this beautiful by Kilian Good Girl Gone Bad fragrance. It's got an incredible depth to it. I like a lot of really light florals for the summer, spring and summer, so this was not something that I was into up until we hit fall. I bought this during the last spring savings event, so up until fall I wasn't really digging it. I thought I'd wasted my time and my money because this is 10 milliliters of product, I believe, and it's $50. Yeah, no, it's 7.5 milliliters of product, eau de parfum, and it's $50, so it's expensive. And I thought I'd wasted my money. Definitely something that I'm glad I purchased during a sale, but I still thought I wasted my money. And then fall hit, and I could not get enough of this fragrance. I'm actually considering buying this fragrance right now and then just holding off until fall hits because I started liking it around, I would say, September, October, when it started getting a little bit cooler, and the next sale would be like during November, so I don't want to wait that long. I love this one. It is definitely expensive, definitely something that I think you should take advantage of if you're if you like the fragrances that I've just shared with you. Just so you know, according to Sephora, the scent type is fruity floral. The keynotes are orange blossom, miscanthus, and tuberose. The fragrance description, according to Sephora.com, is that it's half innocent, half voluptuous. Oh, I do see that. I do see the voluptuousness of it because it's got like a very heady scent note to it, in my opinion. The description goes on to say the apricot tinged miscanthus absolute, orange blossom, and rose of May absolute create the ultimate temptress. Yeah, this is lovely. It is an explosion of the three sirens of flowers: tuberose absolute, jasmine, and narcissus. It's like crack. It's amazing. I really recommend that you get it. I don't know how else to say it. And that's it. That's it for my favorites and the things that I actually recommend that you purchase. Stick around for a couple more minutes for me to talk about things that I don't recommend. Holy cow, this is a long video. I should have probably made that into a second video, to be honest, but I'm gonna put it here and then maybe I'll have to re-record it in a different way, like a buy this, not that kind of thing. Oh wow, I guess I already talked about the stuff that I don't really recommend in passing, so it's very quick. It's gonna be very quick right now. So the first thing I want to talk about is this Say product. Oh gosh, what is this called? This is the Glowy Super Gel in Star Glow. Now, this isn't my first one. I actually already used up a whole one of these, and I was trying to figure out what people loved about it, and I don't know, because putting it on bare face, you know, you really get maybe a little bit of a shine or a shimmer to it, but really not much. I'm gonna see if I can show you what that looks like. It's just definitely like one of those products that would give you a bit of a glow, definitely like your skin is juicy kind of glow, sure, but it doesn't show up under foundation at all. And then when I tried applying it over my foundation, it actually lifted the foundation. This is without me setting the foundation. Like I didn't put any powder over it, but it lifted the foundation. So no matter how I applied it, it didn't work. I tried mixing it with my foundation, and I mean, it gave it a tiny bit of luminosity, maybe, but nothing really. And then it changes the formula of the foundation a little bit. So in my opinion, this is not really worth it. I'm going to use this up by putting it on my chest during the summer, because this came in a Sephora favorite set during the holidays that also contained one of these favorites. But I don't recommend this one. It's expensive for no reason. It doesn't really do anything memorable. The second product I don't actually recommend is not because the product is bad. The product is fantastic, but because the packaging is awful. So this is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Dullness Concentrated Derma Serum, 15% vitamin C, and it also has vitamin E. So I think this product is great. I love the packaging. I'm using it. It's very thin, but because the packaging is so dark and it is an airless pump, or like just like one of those airless things, it's amazing because it doesn't turn orange quickly at all. I'm not gonna pour it out because it's very liquidy, but look at I had it stored sideways, and I can never do that again because look at all the leakage that came out of it. So I don't recommend this. It is a nice vitamin C, but I can't recommend a product that will be lost to like your storage system if you put it sideways. I want to be able to put my product sideways if I need to. I don't want to have to constantly worry about babying my products. That is not a life I want to live. It's just product. And that's it. This is the most comprehensive video of Sephora recommendations and not so recommendations that I could have created. I did go a little bit more in depth into it than I necessarily wanted to, but I really wanted this to be a resource that you could refer to instead of referring to my prior videos and everything else I've ever done. This is just like one-stop shop kind of video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was helpful. Let me know what you've purchased, if anything, or if you have any recommendations for me, because I do like exploring and trying new products. That is literally what I like doing in this on this channel and in my personal life. So thank you very much for your time. I'll see you later. Happy shopping.